Hello my dear friends, welcome to another episode of Tony's Science Bytes. Ajay Antony, founder of the Physics Chamber, creator, presenter and broadcaster of Tony's Science Bytes here. Today, let's look at a little bit of a hardcore subject itself. Let's look at what is a graph. Many students have real trouble in understanding the concept of a graph. For example, let us look at what exactly is a velocity time graph. A graph, as you know, is something that is created out of x and y axis. You've got the x axis, which is the horizontal axis, and the y axis, which is the vertical axis. As a standard practice, when there is a velocity time graph that is drawn, time is always captured along the x axis and velocity along the y axis. Now, what is a graph? Students have big problem in understanding. If you say a graph is beginning and the end, can I say the whole story is presented in the graph? These are the kind of questions which I get as a teacher in the class. Let me give you a very simple understanding on graph. Assume that you are inside your home looking through a window onto the road outside. When you look out through the window, you can only see a portion of the road. When you see a car moving through that road, you only get to see what happens in the case of a car in the frame that is captured by the window. Suddenly the car appears from one end of the window, it speeds out and then disappears at the other side of the window. That is the graph. Please understand, there is life before the graph and life after the graph. But do you know what happens before and after? You don't know. You don't know, you don't care, you don't care. That should be your approach. Because if you try to understand what happens before and what happens after, your problem solving abilities will get seriously compromised. For example, if you have got a velocity time graph and it is a parallel line to the x-axis. One of the most common questions I get from students is, how can the velocity of an object start at a high level when time is 0? Good question, brilliant question, but now let's understand the concept. The object did not start with, let us say, 40 kilometers per hour from the beginning. You saw it when it was traveling at 40 kilometers per hour through that window. When the car came into your eyesight, it was 40 kilometers and it moved away. It would have started from 0, it would have accelerated, it would have braked, it would have decelerated, stopped. Do you know? You don't know, you don't care. What is presented in the y-x graph or xy graph, that's all your concern. It is just a window of what is happening outside. You are only concerned about what happens in the window. Don't try to second guess what is before and after. That is a graph, my dear friends. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Tony's Science Bytes. As usual, stay strong, stay open, stay permeable, ask a lot of questions in class. Bye-bye.